One of the main reasons why you should never buy an EV is because of the near vertical depreciation. I thought I knew what vertical depreciation was when I owned a Maserati for a short time, but that was nothing compared to EVs. There are unfortunately many reasons for why this happens to EVs, the main one being the fact it has a battery, an enormous sardine tin full of wet chemicals that will have started to degrade well before you even get the car home from the dealer. And that battery comprises about half the value of the entire car when new. And because it is just a chemical reaction in a tin, it's hardly something that will retain its value like the engine in a combustion car, which is physical and tangible and has some kind of intrinsic worth. Would you buy a second-hand set of batteries for a radio? No, of course not, because they're disposable. And EV batteries are essentially the same, disposable. There are other factors as well, such as the speed with which EV models become obsolete, given the rapid pace of development. As we'll see in this video, plenty of EV owners are getting stung by shocking depreciation. Make sure you're not one of them by not ever buying one in the first place. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney-based YouTuber. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and let me know what you think by leaving a comment. And if you want to keep informed about all the EV and net zero insanity at the moment, click that subscribe button down below and enable notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you'd like to support this channel, why not buy me a coffee? Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. We'll come on to some memorable quotes from EV owners on discussion forums in a minute, but first the Daily Mail reports on the terrible state of the US EV market. EV dream turns to nightmare as Americans face a very nasty shock when selling their electric cars. The old saying holds true for nearly all car owners. A brand new vehicle loses thousands in value the moment it leaves the dealership lot. But most drivers don't expect to see 60% of their car's value vanish in just 3 years. Yet that's exactly what's happening with luxury electric vehicles, according to a dailymail.com analysis. A review of hundreds of used car listings on Car Gurus and Auto Trader reveals that EVs are depreciating far faster than their gas-powered counterparts. Unlike traditional cars which see gradual upgrades each year, EVs are still evolving rapidly. Each new model boasts major advancements in range, charging speeds and driving technology. This makes older models less desirable, driving their resale values even lower. Luxury EVs are taking the biggest hit. Models like the Mercedes-Benz EQS and EQB and BMW iX, which debuted in 2022, have seen steep price drops. Now the consumer market is starting to see the fruits of this depreciation. 2 to 3 year lease deals on the BMW and Mercedes-Benz EVs are now publicly available via the used cars listings. For example, dailymail.com found a 2022 Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 Plus for sale with just over 1,000 miles driven. The car, which has a clean title, is listed at $41,995. In 2022, a base model EQS had a starting price of $105,000. Another 2022 EQS listing had just under 39,000 miles on the odometer and a price tag of $32,695. Market analyses by Roberts finds a similar trend across the full US used car market. The average Mercedes EV lost 18.4% of its value since 2024, according to his analysis. Meanwhile, the brand's gas cars lost 4.3% of their value. Both of these electric sedans far outpace the depreciation seen in even the fastest depreciating gasoline-powered luxury vehicles. For comparison, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class typically loses around 40% of its value over 5 years, while an Audi A8 depreciates about 20% in its first year. Look, all cars obviously depreciate, that's a given. But seriously, EVs are like iPhones. Once they're 3 years old, you move on and dump the old one. How great is that for the environment? When those huge lithium batteries that have caused immense damage to the environment during manufacture are landfill after a few years. It's terrible, really. And this article has some classic quotes from poor EV owners who have suffered at the hands of EV depreciation. I've never had a vehicle depreciate this fast in all my life. An EV depreciation crisis isn't unique to Tesla. Yet here's how to avoid losing your shirt on an electric vehicle. The potential cost of ownership advantage of battery electric vehicles is spoiled entirely by a terrible depreciation rate. The value of BEVs drops like a stone compared to other types of vehicles, and the reasons are many. Here's why EVs are a bad buy. Before we go too far, let us remind readers that if you wish to drive a battery electric vehicle, BEV, lease an EV, don't buy one. We think EVs drive well, and we understand the allure of a reduced carbon footprint. This story will not disparage the driving enjoyment or ownership experience of EVs. Good for you. Rather, we will highlight that EVs have awful depreciation, prove it is not a new trend, and provide evidence that Tesla is just one of the many brands that suffer from this malady. Here are some comments we harvested from various electric vehicle clubs online. Tesla Model 3, 115k on my 2018 Model 3, love the car but the resale value, insert profanity here. Tesla Model 3, don't be surprised to see low to sub 20k offers. Used Model 3 values are way down. Tesla Model Y, currently in a Model 3 and looking to move into a Model Y. The depreciation on the Model 3 has been atrocious, as with many EVs. I absolutely love the car, but the rapid depreciation has far outweighed any type of EV-related savings. Tesla Model Y. Does this make anyone never want to buy a Tesla again? No, it was not an investment, but I have never experienced car depreciation so hard. Model Y. Every time I see how cheap these are going for now, it makes me sick. My Model Y performance was 74k almost 2.5 years ago. Model Y. These cars are dirt cheap with no resale value. Why would anyone buy a used one? Model Y. I know a guy that recently paid in the 70s for one, literally half the price now. Volkswagen ID4. My ID4 depreciated 30% in less than a month, with only 30k miles on it. I bought it used with 28k miles for 27k, and now I could get around 19k for it. 9k wiped off in depreciation. I have an ICE car and it doesn't depreciate this fast. Crazy how the value goes down at the 30k mile mark. Volkswagen ID4. I purchased my ID4 1 year ago today. I paid $52,700. It's now valued at $28,600. I'd say the depreciation is a killer. Hyundai Ioniq 5. Just got rid of my Ioniq 5, lost so much money, but the infrastructure is just not there. Ioniq 5. I've owned my 23 Limited AWD exactly 1 year today. My Ioniq 5 is now valued by Carfax at only 55% of what I paid in cash for it. A huge early depreciation. Ioniq 5. I had $12,000 down payment on my 2022 Limited AWD, and I'm still upside down. I'd love to trade it for 2025, but I'm not willing to lose thousands in equity in the process. I have never had a vehicle depreciate this much in so little time. Well, if these painful admissions don't put you ever off wanting to buy an EV, I don't know what will. There will be essentially no used market for EVs because nobody is willing to take the risk on the battery failing and it costing you more than the value of the car to replace. Then you're left with a brick, a very expensive brick. If you want to do the right thing for the environment, don't buy an EV. Buy a good quality pre-owned combustion car, maintain it well and keep it for as long as you can. Do that and you'll be helping the planet way more than if you bought an EV, new or otherwise.